For every loved guest on the 85 South show, there is also one who is hated by everyone, starting with comedian Nav Greene. Now I already know what all of you are thinking. There's no way Nav is hated by anyone, and you're right, the fans don't hate him. But there is one person who can't stand Nav Greene, and that person is the host himself, Karlos Miller. Nav and Karlos have this hilarious love-hate relationship that has been going on for a while now, and it all started because of one movie, the sequel of Eddie Murphy's Coming to America. Nav Greene landed a role in the Eddie Murphy film, which on the surface sounds like a massive win, and it was, except for one small problem. When Nav was on that movie set with the legend Eddie Murphy, he never once pulled Eddie aside and invited him to the 85 South Show podcast.
Man, this luxurious player right here sitting next to this motherfucker Nav Greene, bro. He's a movie star. He was in the whole Coming to America too. Didn't even tell Eddie Murphy and them about me, bro. Too famous.
Karlos had been watching Nav real close. He felt like Nav was moving a little funny, acting a little distant, like he was hiding something. And sure enough, the truth eventually came out. Nav had been around Eddie Murphy the whole time and didn't say a single word about bringing him on the show. Not one word. To be fair, Karlos still rocks with Nav. He even gave him his own show called Broken Play on the podcast, but that grudge is very much alive. Karlos brings it up every chance he gets, and every time he does, it is pure comedy. Nav Greene may be loved by the fans, but in Karlos's eyes, he will forever be the man who had Eddie Murphy right in front of him and did absolutely nothing with it.
And not even mention your boy. God damn, man. What I ever done to you?
That was a solid callback right there. That's from the top of the show.
T-Pain.
But while Nav's situation is more funny than anything else, the love that Lil Boosie gets from the 85 South percenters is something on a completely different level. Oh, and by the way, the term 85 percenters is the name of Karlos's fan base. Now back to Boosie. Lil Boosie is, without question, the most beloved guest to ever sit down on the 85 South show. We are talking over 12 million views on a single episode alone. 12 million. And that episode went for nearly 3 hours, and people watched every single minute of it.
Boy, you fucking get a good idea.
Now here is what makes this even more special. Going back to 2022, the 85 percenters had been requesting Boosie for a long time. They were in the comments, on social media, everywhere, telling Karlos and DC to get Boosie on the show. And when Boosie finally pulled up to show love to the crew, the fans lost their minds. One comment said it perfectly. One of the most anticipated and requested episodes in 85 South show history. And they were not lying. The reason people love Boosie so much is because he brings everything. He's funny, unfiltered, and real. When Boosie sits down for an interview, he talks about his family, his music, who he is as a man, and he does not sugarcoat any of it. He keeps it completely 100 with everybody in the room. And I will say this personally, whether it's the 85 South show or the Breakfast Club, the moment I see Boosie is doing an interview, I'm clicking immediately. No hesitation. That is the kind of pull this man has.
And that's what I do. I take over the room. You ain't finna over talk me. Cause when you dealing with people who gonna pay you, they gonna down talk you.
Now, as much love as Boosie brings to the show, the next guest on this list brought nothing but chaos, and that man is Charleston White. Charleston White is one of the most controversial figures on social media, and most podcasts want absolutely nothing to do with him. But Karlos Miller decided to give him a shot anyway, and bring him on the 85 South show for an interview, and it didn't go well.
Moses sat in the wilderness for 30 years.
From the jump, Charleston got into it with DC Young Fly. They were going back and forth about rappers and their responsibility to the community, and DC was not backing down on anything. Every single point Charleston made, DC pushed back on. The two of them went at it for a while, and the whole time, Karlos stayed quiet, and fans picked up on that immediately. A lot of people took Karlos's silence as a sign that he secretly agreed with Charleston, but didn't want to say it out loud, and risk getting cancelled on social media.
But even though I speak for the people, I don't walk around like it's fuck the police. I don't say fuck the police.
Sometime later, Karlos went on the Real Life Productions podcast and basically confirmed exactly that. He said he never had a problem with Charleston or the things he was saying. Coming from where Karlos is from, in Mississippi, he's heard and seen far worse. He just didn't want to put himself in a messy situation.
I feel like I'm the only one that actually understand Charleston White, because I got an uncle that's like 10 times worse than Charleston White, bruh.
But the damage was already done. The backlash from social media came fast, and to avoid the heat, the interview was quietly taken down from the 85 South Show channel entirely. Charleston White came on the show, flipped the whole table, and the episode got erased like it never happened. That's how bad it got. But in complete contrast to Charleston White's chaos, T-Pain brought nothing but good vibes every single time he stepped foot in that building.
I'm talking to in general as people, nigga. Hold on. You know how many people hate you that have never met you because they're going off of a story that somebody else told about you and they never want to meet you?
T-Pain is the second most loved guest in 85 South Show history, and he has earned every bit of that title. He's been on the podcast twice now and has racked up almost 10 million views between both episodes he did, and I have to admit, T-Pain is one of my personal favorites on that show, no debate. His most memorable episode was the one he did with Nav Greene and Karlos Miller, and that one ran for a full 3 hours. If you haven't seen that episode, go watch it. I'm not even going to give you a reason, just trust me and go watch it. For 3 straight hours, T-Pain, Nav, and Karlos had energy that was completely unmatched. Everybody in that studio was laughing the entire time, and the fans in the comments were going absolutely crazy talking about how great the episode was.
Shut the hell up. That's not better. That's not making it better. I see it big.
But the moment that really made everyone lose their minds was when T-Pain casually mentioned that he had personally hung out with Michael Jackson, and that in real life, Michael Jackson had a really deep voice. The entire room went crazy because we all know Michael Jackson spoke with that soft, high-pitched voice in public. The whole studio lit up off that one comment alone, and fans talked about that moment for weeks. That is what T-Pain brings every time he shows up, and that's why all of the 85 percenters love him.
Hey man, hold up! Wait a goddamn minute! Nav, you remember I said that shit?
Yeah. I was bullshit earlier. I'm glad you let me meet T-Pain.
Bruh, wait a fuck.
But where T-Pain's appearances will always be remembered for the right reasons, Rick Ross's appearance on the 85 South Show will forever be remembered for the wrong ones. On December 17th, 2021, Rick Ross came on the 85 South Show to do an interview just like every other guest. Except Rick Ross is not like every other guest, because Rick Ross walked off the podcast mid-interview.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm talking about for life.
I just had to tell the motherfucker. I said, maybe.
It started when Ross said he had to use the bathroom in the interview, which was fine with everyone, but then the crew informed Karlos and DC and broke the news. Ross didn't go to the bathroom. Ross had left the building entirely, just got up and bounced mid-interview like it was nothing. Social media ran with this story for a long time. People were talking about it everywhere, and it even started coming up in other interviews Rick Ross did, including when he went on The Breakfast Club. But instead of owning up to what he did, Rick came up with some lame excuses. Apparently he was in the zone and had other things going on. Basically, he said a whole lot of nothing that nobody was trying to hear.
What happened on the 85 South Show where you just got up and left?
Yo, yeah.
I think I was just really in the zone. I was smoked out good. I was in the zone. When I'm in the zone and get one of them money calls, I just ease out that motherfucker.
You just left.
DC Young Fly went online and addressed it directly, and when he gave his response, the internet stood behind DC 100%. Nobody was on Ross's side. What Rick Ross did was disrespectful, plain and simple. He showed up to somebody else's platform, sat down in their house, and walked out like his time was worth more than everyone else's in that room. That is not the boss move he thought it was, and that moment revealed his true character. Now, speaking of character reveals, Jack Thriller might just be the most underrated guest the 85 South Show has ever had, and his character is nothing but pure entertainment.
I seen you pictures. Jamaican today.
You started this shit.
Honestly, I could not tell you exactly what Jack Thriller does for a living. What I can tell you is that he is a one-of-a-kind human being who will have you in tears for hours. Jack has done plenty of interviews over the years, and even showed up in Soulja Boy's iconic music video, Crank That, where he played the Superman character in a couple of scenes. But the reason fans love Jack on the 85 South show specifically is because of his natural ability to tell crazy stories and make the whole room react with nothing but his gestures and delivery. He doesn't need a script, he just shows up and expresses himself in a way that will have you dying of laughter. His most viewed episode on the show featured an Instagram model named Persephone, and they pulled in nearly 2 million views. But the moment that had everybody dying was when Jack kept insisting that back in the day, when he and Karlos first met, Karlos used to call him Honey Buns with a Z, because the Z makes it masculine. The second those words came out of Jack's mouth, the entire crew lost it. Karlos denied it, but Jack doubled down, and they went back and forth on that subject for a while. The whole exchange was pure, unscripted comedy, exactly the kind of moment that makes the 85 South show what it is.
So did you call him that?
Nah. You lost me with
I never seen you out before.
I didn't call him nothing. I didn't have to call him nothing.
If you have never seen that episode, I am going to tell you the same thing. I told you about the T-Pain episode. Go watch it. You won't regret it. Whether it's Nav Greene and Karlos's ongoing beef over Eddie Murphy, or Jack Thriller bringing the kind of energy that never gets old, the 85 South show continues to give us moments that no other podcast can. The loved guests, like Lil Boosie, makes you want to rewatch their episodes like a ritual, and the hated guests reminds you that not everybody deserves to go on the show. And by the way, shout out to all of the 85%ers.